Good morning everyone. Today we are going to see about inheritance. Inheritance is the most important topic regarding to object-oriented programming, in which a programmer can derive a new class from the already existing class, and the new class becomes the child class and the already existing class becomes the parent class. The keyword used for inheritance is extends. The main aim of inheritance is acquiring the properties which are possessed by the parent class by its child class to reduce the memory consumption of the objects. Here is the syntax for inheritance. Class, child class name, and we have to use the keyword extends and then followed by parent class name. Inside this, you can write the methods and variables whichever needed for this program. Here is the simple program to explain the concept of inheritance. Here we have created a class employee and we have derived a class manager from the base class employee. The main aim of this inheritance is to acquire the properties, which means the functions and the variables which are possessed by the class employee to the class manager. As we can see in this example, employee class, we have given the variable salary, integer type. You can use this variable salary in whichever class you are going to inherit from this employee class. So we can see this in the class manager, which is extending the class employee. We have used the salary. System.out.println manager salary is m.salary. Here m represents the object which we are creating for the class manager. Using that object, you can use the value which is described in the class employee. So salary 5000 can be directly implemented in this child class. Here is the output. Manager salary is 5000, which is brought to this class using this object m.salary. Bonus of the manager is 3000. This bonus is already given in this same class manager. There are 5 types of inheritance. First is single inheritance, second is multi-level, then hierarchical inheritance, multiple inheritance, and hybrid inheritance. In single inheritance, only one class is derived from the base class. So class B is derived from class A. In multi-level inheritance, a class can be inherited from a parent class from which another class can also be inherited, which is grandparent, parent, and child. In hierarchical inheritance, more than one class can be derived from the same parent class, and all the derived class are called as siblings. In multiple inheritance, which is not at all possible in Java, a class can be derived from more than one base class, which is not allowed in Java. Next is hybrid inheritance. Hybrid inheritance is a combination of all these 3 types of inheritance. If the hybrid inheritance consists of multiple inheritance, then it is not valid, because a class cannot have more than one parent, which is the basic concept in inheritance. Therefore, the diagram described for this hybrid inheritance does not represent a valid one. Here is an example for single inheritance. Here, the base class is animal, which consists of the method eat, from which we are deriving the class dog. So which means the class animal consisting of the method eat can be used by the class dog also. The class dog can use the method bark and also eat. class test inheritance is our main class. So why we are saying it as main class means we have mentioned our main function within this class. So test inheritance is called as the base class. Inside this we have created object only for the child class, which is more than enough to call the method which is present in the base class also. There is no need to create separate separate object for the base class. We have to create object only for derived class. So we will see the execution of this program. Our program starts its execution from the main function. So function starts working. Within this function, I have created an object for the class dog, which is called as a derived class. Using that object, I am calling the function which is present in dog, which is the derived class, and also I am calling the function which is present in the base class. And my output is barking and eating. Next is multi-level inheritance. As we have seen in this diagram, multi-level inheritance is we can derive a class from the base class. And from the derived class, we can create another class also. We can derive another class also. So there are multi-level inheritance, which represents a grandparent, a parent, and a child. Here the base class is animal, from which we have derived the class dog. From the class dog we have again derived baby dog. So there is a need to create object only for the class baby dog, through which we can access the class dog and also animal. So here my output is, first I have called d.weep, so it gets into the class baby dog. So the output is weeping. Next I have called the bark. So for bark, it enters into the class dog. So barking. E.eat. So which enters into the class animal and prints eating. Next is hierarchical inheritance. For hierarchical inheritance, more than one class can be derived from the same parent class. Here is the example. From the class animal, we have derived the class dog and also cat. Now I have to create object for both the classes dog and eat. Let's see this diagram. If I create only object for class B, I cannot access class C. As they are siblings, I cannot access both with the same method. If I create object for class B, I can access class B and also class A, but not class C. If I create object only for class C, I can access class C and class A, but not class B. So to hierarchical inheritance, we have to create as much objects as we have the derived class. So here I have created the object for cat class, using which I can call only the class cat and also animal. If I try to access the dog class, it gives me an error. So this is the basic concept of inheritance. We will see next topic in next class.